Hello, this is the Campus Stores Canada Getting Started seminar. We're going to get started here right away. You'll notice first of all that I am inside of Google's Chrome. Campus Stores Canada is always going to recommend Chrome as the browser of choice for using the member space. We'll get into some of the details as to why, but if you don't have Chrome installed on your current PC, you can always install it on a Mac, an iPhone. It comes standard on Android and Chrome OS. There are Chromium builds that are available for Linux, but we're always going to recommend that you use Google Chrome. So let's get started. As you can see, I've got a browser window open. Again, for this demo, I'm using Google Chrome, but you can use any modern browser of your choice. Things are just going to look and work slightly differently than what you see here. We're going to start by going to the new Campus Stores Canada website. You can head there at campusstores.ca. Now, up in the top right-hand corner, we're going to see the member space button. We're going to click on that. Now, you'll be asked to sign into your Google account. Most of you should have received an email inviting you to the Campus Stores Canada member space. It will include a password, though if you don't have that password available or you don't see it here, you can always follow these steps as well. So you can see that I already have a couple of profiles here, but we're going to use another account to sign in. Now I'm going to create an account, but if you don't have your account, you can always go to Forgot Email. Your email address for Campus Stores Canada is always going to be firstname.lastname@campusstores.ca. From there, it'll ask you about password recovery options. You can always use your default options or your default email, so the one that you use most for work. That's the one that we have set up as your recovery account for Campus Stores Canada. So doing all that, you should be able to sign in pretty easily. And once you're inside, you'll see this screen. Now let's get a couple of things started right away. The first is let's make sure that we have our email set up. So you can see here on the Campus Stores Canada member space back page, you can see there are a number of apps. These are all the Google apps that are now involved in the Campus Stores Canada backend. So we're going to come down here and we're going to select Mail. And you can see that it's going to start up our mail application. In this case, we're using Gmail. Now you can see I've got lots of things already set up on here, but we want to get yours set up so that you can use all of the tools that are available to Campus Stores Canada members. To do that, we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to come up here and we're going to look at some of the default things that come included in Google's architecture, in Google Workspace. First things first, you'll always notice that here is going to be your profile photo. So in some cases, or in most cases, when you first start up, it'll just be the first initial of your first name. You'll see the Campus Stores Canada logo, the Google Applications button, and this will let you navigate back and forth between Google Apps, the Settings button, and also the Support button. Now the Support button is going to take you to Google Forms, or Google Help Forms rather. The Google Help Forms are great if you really want to get into further detail about what you can do. Of course, if you have any questions, you can also always contact me. Again, my name is Steve Thomas. You can contact me at google@campusstores.ca or give a call to 1-888-288-4044. That's 1-888-288-4044. For right now, let's get some of the options set up on our Gmail. So we're going to click here on the gear and go into settings. Now, there are some customization settings that are all right here so that you can see and look at your email in the way that is most comfortable and productive for yourselves. But instead, we're going to go into see all settings because we want to set up two really important tools, Chat and Meet. So you can see there are a huge number of things that you can set up inside of Gmail's backend as far as options and how things are delivered and what it looks like to you. But we're going to scroll all the way over here to Chat and Meet. This is really important because Chat and Meet are some really powerful tools to be able to communicate with the rest of the members. So when you come up to this, you're going to see Chat is turned off. We want to change that to Google Chat. Google Chat allows you to drop member to member, and it also drops it right here inside of your Gmail home screen. So you'll be able to see who is online, see who you can talk to. Obviously, I'm recording this on the Friday of a long weekend, so there are not a lot of people left in the office. You can also manage your chat settings. This allows you to change where notifications and stuff are, how you get email notifications about a chat thread you may have missed, any blocked rooms or people that you may have, just people who are talking too much. You can also click on any of these drop downs and you'll also get to see some more options. So you can get notified for new threads and direct messages, all sorts of stuff. Really, we just want to make sure that we are getting the notifications that we want so that we can be productive and you guys can interact with Campus Tours Canada in the way that you want. So once you've got all that set up, we can click done down here at the bottom. But the big thing with getting notifications is they're only really good for you when they're important and when you're able to deal with it. So for myself, I like to set those up so that I'm getting notifications only during the workday and days that I'm at work. So, during the hours that I'm in the office and on the days that I'm in the office. Now we can set that up pretty quickly. So let's take care of it right now. If I come over here into calendar on this side, you can see that there's a little calendar option. So it just flies out a little calendar for me. You can see earlier today I ran the last live version of this seminar, but we can also access all of Google's apps by clicking on the Google app button up here. So yes, we can have our little calendar here. We can make it get bigger by opening it in a new tab. But for right now, let's go to calendar in the Google Apps button. So you can see that as it comes down, it just presents me with all of my most used apps. And as they get less and less used, you can see that they are actually funneled further and further down the list. So why don't we click on calendar? And now you can see my calendar. We can see all of the stuff that's set up on here, but we want to set up when our notifications are coming through to our account. So let's click on the settings menu up here at the top. So same as what we saw in Gmail, we're just going to come over here to the gear. We're going to click on settings and we're going to click on settings again. You'll see some of the basic setup tasks as far as it's going to try and default to all the things that you've otherwise set up in Google. But for ourselves and for right now, we want to set up our working hours. So this is going to enable working, when we click on the enable working hours button, you can see that it's going to bring up a work week. So it's Sunday through Saturday. We just choose the days that we're normally in the office. You set up the time that you're normally in the office in your local time zone. And then you can either just copy to all if you're working on the same day and time every time, or if you have specific hours, they may change. Just give yourself some leeway so that, it's going to be setting you notifications really when it's important to you. The other one that we should look at while we're on here is your main work location. We've set up Google and Google Workspace so that everybody is working in the same workspace. Now, some of us are clearly not working in the same physical locations. So we can always set this list so that it's going to tell us where the other person is. So if you have somebody else who's at the college or university with you, you can always find a way to meet in person. But for this, and especially for creating meetings between people, Google is going to try and find locations that are available to both of you. So if you are both working at, say, the University of Calgary, it's going to try and suggest that you guys meet in person when you're creating a calendar invite. But if you set your working location and somebody else is at a different university, it's going to try and suggest to use Google Meet first, which is Google's virtual conferencing software. So you can see I've got mine set on working remotely, as that's what we all do these days. So it's going to primarily suggest that we meet using Google Meet. Now, a few other items just before we're done here today. So you can see that we've done the setup now for our working hours. We've set up our notifications, and we've also set up so that we have chat enabled.